I think we pay a high price for the exile of feeling in education, this remorseless turning out and the failure to help people engage with what's within them. I believe that what identifies us as human beings, above all, are the powers that flow from our deep resource of imagination. That's why I write such a lot about creativity. If you ask, for most of the past 50,000 years, we have lived harmoniously with the rest of life on Earth. Our ancestors did. In the last 300 years, which is a blink of an eye, we've taken off like a rocket and are about to bring the house down around our ears. And what accounts for it? What is it that makes us so different? Because in most respects, we're like the rest of life on Earth. We're mortal, organic, no different from them. Lives are short. But what makes us different? Why are we sitting in a building that we've made, rather than sitting outside while all the dogs are sitting in here, or all the lemurs and the squirrels sitting having meetings, and we're outside in the trees trying to figure out what to eat. There is a difference. And the difference is that we have evolved this powerful sense of imagination, the ability to bring to mind things that aren't here. And from it flow all kinds of powers, like creativity, and uniquely and distinctively, the power of empathy, the ability to put yourself in somebody else's position and to imagine what that might be like. What happens in all times of conflict and cruelty is we shut empathy off so that we can do things that are unimaginable. And the way we avoid that is by kindling our imaginations and making those things unimaginable in turn. Empathy, essentially, and imagination are the things that make us human, and the powers that flow from it, creativity and intuition. So it seems to me we have two big challenges in education. One of them is to have a more unified conception of what it is to be a person, one that recognizes that feeling and knowing are parts of the same complex of a whole being, that our feelings are forms of perception, and they're affected by what we think, by our frameworks of ideas. They're affected by how well we can express ourselves and the languages we have available to do that. So part of the task of education is to connect ourselves with ourselves. And I think the reason so many people get depressed and lost is they have lost the connection with themselves. They have no sense of purpose. Carl Jung said this. He said in his 30 years of professional practice, he said there wasn't a single person who came to see him whose malaise, he said, couldn't in the end be attributed to a loss of faith in religion. Now, I don't think he meant, and I certainly don't mean in quoting him, organized religion. I think the word I would use, and perhaps he would have accepted, would be spirituality, a sense of your spirit. But he said in the end, nobody either got well without regaining a sense of spiritual connection. So part of the task of education is to connect ourselves with ourselves. But the other great task is to connect with each other through the power of empathy, through the power of intuition and mutuality. And all those things get lost in an industrialized, homogenized, atomized system of education. And the price couldn't be higher. And we're paying it every day in disaffection, disengagement, and emotional turmoil.